Let's talk NIL deals. This is totally hypothetical. It's a Wednesday in June, and there's not a lot going on. So at 11:33, we finally get to this.
Let's transition to NIL.
Yeah, there's a hard turn. I'm pretty sure this was McNugget's idea, right? Did you come up with
me
this?
and Steve Becker, yeah.
Okay, I love the idea because we're trying to create topics here.
Yeah.
So the NIL we know is changing lives in college football today.
Yes.
What if it was a thing in the year 2000? So let's ask from 2000 to present, which Buckeyes in that 21-year span would have benefited most from an NIL deal?
This is will be fun.
Are you putting up each individual graphics here, Mike? I can't
As you
remember.
call them out, yeah, I'll follow
Who do you want to start? You want Bull to start?
Bull sent me like 12, so let's do Bull last.
You be last. Go ahead.
I'm going to cover all my bases. All right, let's go with Tyvis because
Let's start with
he's
Tyvis.
one of the players that won a championship in that era.
Well, I
for
mean,
Ohio State.
outside of myself.
Yeah, of course. Outside of yourself.
No, my first one would be Troy Smith. Troy Smith would probably he would have made a lot of money due to the fact that he was beloved by everybody. Great guy, won the Heisman, took him to the Natty. I mean, that guy right there, outside of him being the quarterback for the Ohio State and him being a Cleveland kid, an Ohio native, I mean, he would have made bank for sure. He would have cleaned up and made a ton of money. My next person would be Braxton Miller. Braxton Miller was a guy he seemed to be a celebrity since high school for some odd reason. You know, he was very electric on that field.
Was he a Dayton kid? He was, right?
Yes, Dayton kid. Another Ohio kid, so he would have definitely made bank. I mean, he was arguably the most athletic quarterback to ever play at Ohio State. And those 5 jerseys, before they was getting paid, those 5 jerseys was going off the rack. So I think for sure he would have made a nice, pretty penny.
Yeah. G. Bush, you want to go? We'll leave.
I got my whole list here.
We'll leave list of 12 for last.
Let me chime y'all in.
Yeah.
Everyone sent me 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I think Bull sent 7. In all
No, 10. I said 2 lists of 5. One for all the years and one specifically for
This is why we
Tyvis.
love Bull, though. There's no stone unturned with Bull, and that's why we love Bull.
I was not told there was a limit here.
Bull, I will say this. McNuggets claims that he has a name that none of us selected.
Already guessed
And
it.
considering you gave 100 names.
10.
I'm surprised that it wasn't. There was no cross-reference there.
All right, G.
G, what do you have?
I'm trying to think who I had. Throw me my graphic up here.
G said Zeke. Let's pull Zeke up here.
You felt strongly about this.
Yeah. I got medication.
He's still fired up about the
Oh, here we go. There we talk
Watson
about
conversation.
No.
Zeke
Elliott. Let me tell you why. Zeke Elliott would have got a lot of money because he was marketable, right? He had a dance celebration. When you got a celebration, he was the first one doing this right here.
I hate that. My least favorite thing in football. Why? It just irritates me to no end. I feel like it's selfish.
I'm eating.
It's like
I'm eating right now.
Why not feed the
right now?
high
He ain't
end?
even the best back on his team.
Wow.
Tony Pollard.
Hey, I'm not talking about right now. We're talking about his career.
Yeah, we talking about his
He's
college.
great.
And now when he was
Got
in
that
college,
nice six-pack, too.
And by the way, they let him get some stuff off that nobody else got off. Listen, there's rules and regulations because I used to try to be a fat boy that looked cool. He got the midriff cut off with the back flap in the back. Nobody gets that off ever. He got that off. He had the number 15, a DB position. I'm like, that's a quarterback number. He made 15 look cool. And on top of that, he had crazy looking hair and he had a LeBron shooting sleeve on. He had all the exterior stuff. Yeah, you did. You tried to be out there in a cat suit. Like Tyvis would have all. I was like, that Catwoman, he got all black.
Come on,
bro.
You got to know how to wear it.
Yeah.
All black. All black
Should I
accessories.
tell him his next one, or
Yeah,
do you think
what's
he's
my next
remembered
one?
it?
No.
Tell him, Jay.
Nope. Tell me my next one.
Who is his next one?
What's my next one? Yeah, go ahead, that. Yeah, you just gave me JT Barrett. That's it. If you just gave me I know I picked JT Barrett.
I picked JT Barrett.
He picked JT Barrett.
That's my grandson, Joe Thomas Barrett.
I picked for the outside of him. I picked Maurice Claret. Obviously, was a dude. But then my second dude was Chase Young.
That's a great pick.
Chase Young.
He did pick Chase Young, but he also sent me JT Barrett.
Yeah. So I guess you're gonna make me have Barrett. Bull took all the graphics.
No, he's not gonna make you have Barrett. You
There it is.
said Barrett.
There it is.
Bull
There you
took
go.
all
Bull took all the graphics. There's no more slides.
Got them
left.
all. I got them all.
Now this guy, he was listen. Now if you're a defensive end He had all the intangibles, everything you need to be a defensive end that's going to get you some money out there. He had a single digit. The number 2 is super dope. He came out there. He had the wrist braces on. And when you play college football, NCAA college football, you automatically put your edge rusher or any athlete with dreads. He had the gold dreads. And he had a shield, a Nike shield. He would have been getting he was the upgrade to Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa was just out there tape.
You're all about the uniform and the accessories.
Listen, Deion did say if you look good,
you play
that's
true.
Good.
No, that's very
Don't
true.
be out here looking dry and
you gotta
dusty.
look. I'm telling you.
Dry and dusty.
You got that old Intangi. You got that Westerville South gear on, bro. Take that off. That is high school gear. Come on in here and get you some of these.
Aren't you wearing a high school shirt right now?
But this is Nike. We don't play that. We don't play that.
They got the deal.
Yeah, listen, we got a deal, bro. We got all kind of athletes out there with an F. Athletes. And we got stats. They give out shields up there, bro. People around here wearing Champion and Rydell. We don't wear Rydell. Rydell.
Can't beat the classics.
Oh, man.
Do you have any other names?
Bull got him.
Is that all?
Go ahead,
no,
Jay.
I'll just give mine real quick. This is going back to the the 2000. I'm going to go to Maurice Clarett. So that's my overall guy because I think we've forgotten how good this guy was.
Yeah.
And he was a true freshman. He was doing this just months after he graduated from high school and led them to a national championship. Unfortunately, his time at Ohio State was just too brief, but 1,200 yards, 18 total touchdowns, 16 touchdowns. He ran with a mission. And I think that it's just a shame. Not just his college career being too brief, but that he never took a snap.
And by the way, he's filling in for me next week.
Oh, for real?
Today.
Yes. Yeah. And by the way, that'll be the only time in Bull's life that he can say his backup is Maurice Clarett.
I'm going to tell you what, and Maurice don't want to tell you this, though. Maurice Clarett was I went to OU, and I was there during the 2000s. There's not one dude who when you came down to school and you pulled up at a party, this man wasn't even at parties, but his buzz was at an all-time high.
Yeah.
He had unicorns on his team. Unicorns. Do you know what unicorns are? Fictitious people. You're like, gosh, who was that? All tens.
Yeah.
Lord. He was winning, and he had a number 1. He had the 13 at running back. You can't do nothing with that.
Yeah. Bull, you want to give us your 7 or 10? Or?
Obviously, you mentioned Clarett already, who was on my
How
list.
much time do we got?
I think over 1 year, Clarett would have made more than any of these guys.
That's
for
why
a
he was
1
my
year
pick.
stretch. And then you guys have mentioned Zeke, who was on my list of people that you played with on the championship year. Now, when we go with the 2000 through now, my other guys, first of all, you got the 2 linebackers, A.J. Hawk and Lara Nidis, right?
They're going to get NIL money? All right.
No, they were marketable for sure.
Yes. First of all, his dad was a professional wrestler for crying out loud.
That's true.
These 2 guys could have been tag teaming. They would have been doing dopey commercials where they're singing for a car dealership. That is definitely happening. Okay, you got a couple of white linebackers. They're going to get some money. Don't worry about it. Beanie Wells. How do we forget Beanie Wells, man? Beanie was you talk about Maurice Clarett. This guy was a great back for more than 1 year. It wasn't Maurice's fault that he only played 1 year.
Right.
But Beanie Wells, I feel like people forget about him.
Yep.
This guy was an amazing back for the Buckeyes. And finally, Ted Ginn Jr., who was a high draft pick, right? And, he didn't put up big numbers as a wide receiver, but was a great return man in the NFL and had a long, long career. And he was so fast. He could have been doing, tire commercials. Anything where you need a fast guy, get Ted Ginn Jr.
He's the fastest dude I've ever seen in my life.
He was, exactly. Scored that touchdown in the national championship game.
And then that was
the team
it.
got killed after that, but
he got hurt.
whatever.
Sprained his ankle.
All right, now, let's talk about some of the other guys from your team. First of all, Michael Thomas.
Well, explain this. So this now we've narrowed it down to
This is just for the national
championship.
Your national championship
in 2015.
team, not the Dustin Fox national championship team. Michael Thomas, obviously, it's so funny because Michael Thomas has kind of fallen off the radar the last 2 years because he's been hurt.
He'll be back.
I don't know what's been going on with him. Is he happy now?
He'll be back this season.
He's going to be back. You sure?
back this
Okay,
season.
all right, good. But this guy obviously was a stud in college. He's a stud in the NFL until recent injuries.
I worry now because he doesn't have Drew throwing him the ball anymore.
Yeah, well,
we don't know what he is without Drew.
I still think Jameis has got another life in him.
He got his eyes fixed. He got that LASIK surgery.
Jameis can still play.
He throw 40 touchdowns,
We'll
40
see.
picks, though.
All right, Braxton Miller. How do we forget Braxton Miller?
I said,
Oh, you said Braxton
No, he
Miller. Sorry. We'll move on from that. Who else? All right, now we got to get to this guy. This guy, don't put him up yet. This guy, let's see if you can guess who it is. He would get this big NIL money because, let's face it, part of American culture is what? Racism, right? So it's unfortunate, but it's part of American culture.
Joey
so
Bosa.
you get the My Pillow guy. You got the Hobby Lobby. You got Chick-fil-A. It's
Papa
Bosa.
John's.
Although I think Joey's worse than Nick, right? Is it Joey? Who did I say? Joey or Nick? I can't even remember which Bosa I said.
Joey.
Joey. All right. And then, of course, who else do we have? We got one more guy.
We got one more.
Show
Drum
his
roll,
picture.
please.
Show his picture. Look at this guy. Show his picture here.
Yeah.
Look at this face. You got to show his picture right now.
They let you get that Jordan number 2? Yeah,
What?
No,
they
show
get-
his
It all went. TP
Put him on a tight
23.
shot right now, guys.
Oh, that's right.
In studio. Here we need Tyvis right now.
It's
Look
coming.
at that.
Hello.
Trying to point to his face.
look.
I pointed at him like 15 times. It's getting uncomfortable. Look at that kisser.
Boom, boom.
That's a good-looking
Hi,
man right
I
here.
invested.
He's getting all that NIL money.
Hi,
Hey, and let me tell you something. And I'm sorry about this. I'm so sorry. We forgot one person. Dang it, we forgot one person.
Who did we forget? Mikey has him?
This dude would have been NIL overnight. So the one-hit wonder where it just be like, this guy blew up.
I've got him on my list.
Cardell Jones.
That's how he's on my 215 list. 2015
Cardell
list.
Jones would have got $3 million in NIL money.
In 3 games.
Off
3
of-
games.
3 games.
minute.
Yeah, but
Sign him up.
here's the reason I didn't say Cardell is because he came on the scene late and then he disappeared off the scene
But
quickly.
here's the thing. Here's why Cardell was on my list of 2015. I had 3 guys in 2015.
Yeah.
I think Cardell would have made the most, and here's why.
He would have, and it's
He
crazy.
came in the Wisconsin. He played the Big Ten championship,
Yep.
Yep.
and they dropped 59 on Wisconsin. He was
59
12 of 17 guys for 250. Everything he threw was a deep bomb for a
Touchdown.
touchdown.
Game plan was to keep the ball deep and outside.
And it worked. So Cardell, it's all about the big games.
Right, that's
so
true.
after Wisconsin, Cardell's got Madden kind of numbers.
Yeah.
So now they're going to go against Alabama and Oregon.
That's
against
crazy.
Alabama, he threw for 243 yards and a touchdown, completed more than 50% of his passes. Against Nick Saban in the win against Alabama, and then in the championship game, 16 of 23 for 242 and a touchdown. So for my money in that 2015 season, it's all about the playoffs. And he would have had one
Yeah,
endorsement
that
deal
offseason.
after another.
And then by October, they would all been gone.
Now, let
Yeah,
me-
look, he was. You talk about one-hit wonders.
He'd
we
have
did
been
this
all
yesterday.
big gone.
Now you know Cardell, right?
Yeah,
You know
I'm
Cardell.
gonna get him to come on the show. one
Tell
of
him,
these
Cardell,
days.
shout out to you. We gotta have you
What,
on.
is he still in the NFL?
No,
No.
he's he was doing the CFL, but it didn't work out. So now he's doing NIL for the Buckeyes. Actually,
Do you believe that after he had that run, for me, I thought after that run he should have just left, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought he would
I
have
did
been
too.
everybody thought that. But
When is your stock ever going to be higher?
Who do y'all think Kyrie Irving? Yeah, you think he gonna play 3 games and just?
Yeah.
Wow,
I thought
He would have been
he
drafted
would have been
higher.
drafted.
I
in the
don't.
second
I don't
round.
know that.
You don't think so?
I don't know that.
Well, we have the
Does-
benefit of the results now
Yeah,
for this
that's true.
discussion.
D-
We
I
know
don't-
that we know his stock went down, but I think in terms of that big deal, he would have got a huge deal.
Yeah,
I think he would have been a high draft pick.
I do too.
Because his body of work was unblemished.
His arm was crazy.
was.
He
Nice.
finished the Michigan game. Then he beat Wisconsin. Then he beat Alabama.
Three
then he
ga-
beat Oregon.
3
and
games.
He looked spectacular doing it.
He should have left.
Do
you know,
you
when he come on, y'all make sure y'all ask
never
him that
know.
question.
no,
I'm
because
asking-
it's
He
probably a
regret it?
touchy
You think
subject.
he-
I don't think he did because he said he wanted to graduate. So.
Okay,
and he
that's what I was
graduated.
gonna
He got
ask
his
you.
he got his degree.
I was
so-
going to ask you, do you think if he had to do it over again, would he say
Yeah,
or
and
no?
you know the crazy thing is we was roommates throughout this whole thing. And
Were you really?
Wow.
yeah, y'all
mention
didn't know
him.
that.
I didn't even
No,
know
you
that.
didn't
How did you
Oh,
not mention him
yeah,
then?
that was like the biggest
So
deal.
what were these conversations
so when,
like
That's
in-
the, so let me tell the world.
take us
Let me tell the
inside.
world. So Cardell has to. So obviously we played the championship game, and I think the deadline to declare was like a week later or something like that. So it was like a quick
Yeah.
turnover time for him, and we never discussed it. Like we roommates, we sitting in the apartment. He goes, yeah, I'm about to hold this press conference. I'm about to go announce to the world what I'm about to do. I never even asked. My only concern was is that rent was due on the 1st, and he needed to make sure that his half of the money was gonna be there. That's all I really cared about.
Ask him?
Nah.
Wow, that's crazy.
But when he
did you have a hunch?
To me, honestly, I was sitting there watching the conference, and I'm sitting there yelling at the TV, "Leave, bro, leave!" But he stayed, and he wanted to graduate, and he got his degree, so it was worth it.
You know, it's funny, when he started his career, he infamously had a comment, something about,
I ain't come here to play school. That's what he said.
Yeah, I thought he was out after that.
Yeah, I did too.
And during that time period, how was it with you got Braxton Miller?
Yes.
You had JT Barrett and you had Cardell.
Did
When
Urban
they all
handle that
came
well?
back, how did y'all, who was it, different people that was liking different people, or how was that whole time being at Ohio State when you got 3 dudes that put up those type of numbers? How was
Well,
y'all feeling?
when those 3 was there, so it wasn't when Cardell put out that tweet, the quarterbacks was Braxton, Kenny Guyton, and Cardell. And at that time, Braxton was Braxton. You know, Braxton, like I said, he's been that celebrity. He's been that high-profile guy, the big quarterback that you want. Kenny Guyton has come in when Braxton's went injured and won games. So Kenny was like the man. He was the second man. If Braxton went down, nobody would bat an eye. Kenny would go in and get us. Cardell was just an afterthought at that moment. He was just doing scout team. So once all this went down, he was already in the doghouse to begin with, so he's just even more in the doghouse.
Why? Because of the comment?
Yeah, just because of the comments. After that, you know, him and Urban, they patched up their relationship because they weren't seeing eye to eye. Urban don't see eye to eye with a lot of freshmen that come in unless you just that guy off the top. So they patched their relationship up. Cardell ended up becoming really good, and he works his way out the doghouse, and that's how he ended up becoming that guy. Obviously, Braxton got hurt and JT got hurt, so he was still 3rd string, but he came
It really
in and
speaks
did
to
that.
the quality of the system at Ohio State.
How do you think, looking back, do you think Urban handled the next year the right way, or did he make some mistakes?
What you talking about when Cardell became the starter?
Yeah.
No, I think he did the right thing.
Okay.
I think Urban handled it the best he could do it. I mean, and the looks of it, it was going to be Cardell's last year. JT had multiple years, and you got to go with the hot hand right now. And I think although JT has the mobile ability, Cardell had the bigger arm, and you had these wide receivers who, you had Michael, you had Braxton, you had Jalen, you had all these receivers who wanted the ball. Yeah. And I think if you put JT in there, you will run the ball more than you will pass the ball. With Cardell, you could spread the ball over and sling it to everybody. So I think he was trying to make everybody happy. The offense just kind of didn't work the same. For some odd reason, that offense ran when JT was at quarterback. So he had to make that switch after, I think, a Maryland game. I think Cardell threw like 2 or 3 picks. They benched him, and that was the end.
Bull mentioned this before the show, and it really is remarkable. When you think about the level of success that multiple different quarterbacks have had at Ohio State over the last 20 years. I mean, you can even go back. Joe Germain put up sick numbers.
A lot of guys,
But really, from
especially
2000
more
on,
recently,
it was almost plug and play.
Yeah.
Everybody they put in there put up these video game type numbers.
Yeah.
And were superstars, not just good quarterbacks. They were usually the best quarterback in the Big Ten and in the Heisman conversation.
Yeah.
Yet for some reason, none of them were able to transfer that success to the NFL. Why?
I just think it's a mixture of, it's a combination of things. I think, one, it does depend on the system that you go into and how are you being utilized. I would say, for example, let me give an example. Josh Allen for the Bills. When Josh Allen first came into the league, I think they had a game plan for Josh Allen to do things a certain way. Josh Allen didn't fit that plan. So what happened was, instead of them trying to say, you know what, Josh Allen is broken, he's not going to work, let's just find somebody else, they switched their game plan to make it fit Josh Allen.
Which is what smart coaches
exactly.
do.
And I think a lot of the times that plays a part into it. Also, you got to think about the weapons. Like Justin Fields, for example. Justin Fields is lights out, a great quarterback. I mean, what he did with Chicago last year with no offensive line and no great wide receiver weapons, and still was able to win games and put up good stats. Like that's his franchise is doing him a disservice.
Running back either.
Yeah, Montgomery's okay.
It's all right.
But for what he's doing is like,
is he going to break this string?
I think he
They
can.
haven't improved the talent that much.
I think he can. Dwayne could have. I think Dwayne started off, RIP to Dwayne. I think Dwayne started off with the right mentality. I think his mindset was, I want to be the franchise guy. I'm putting in all this extra work. And I think when he got it, I think he got complacent.
Really?
I think when he got it, he got complacent and he stopped doing the things that made him great. Right. And I think he regressed because of that. But when he went to Pittsburgh, he started picking that back up again. So it's unfortunate that we won't get to see it, but I think he would have lit it back up.
He certainly was in the right organization to maximize a player's abilities, because I think Pittsburgh has a certain player that they look for at every position. But they're also smart enough to understand that if a guy brings a different skill set to the table, like Dwayne could have, that they maybe adapt what they do to make sure he maximizes his ability.
Justin Fields is not only trying to break the streak of Ohio State quarterbacks that have not had great success, he's also trying to break the streak of Chicago Bears quarterbacks. When's the last time they had a quarterback?
I mean,
even their Super Bowl champion,
McMahon's numbers were
not a very good quarterback.
Rex Grossman wasn't good.
No, and he took him to
He went to the Super Bowl.
I might have to just start saying this. It don't matter what college it's hard enough finding any quarterback.
That's a fact.
No, but you would think, Ohio State has produced so many great players at other positions. You'd think at least one great quarterback.
We're going to do the top 5, but I quickly want to float this theory out there. Is it possible that Ohio State has so much talent across the board? They get the best linemen, they get the best receivers, they get the best running backs, that I'm not taking anything away from their individual success, but I've had guys tell me that came through Southern Miss, do you know the numbers I could have put up if I had that kind of talent around me? Is there something to that?
I mean, it is. Obviously, you're getting the best recruits and the best players at Ohio State. So, yeah, it could be something to that. But I still think
it's just easier.
Because you're being protected. You got guys that can win their one-on-one coverages. So it is easier. But you still got to stand in there. And you still got to deliver that ball.
You gotta do it.
And everybody can't do that.
There is one Ohio State quarterback who's a great NFL player.
Terrell Pryor?
Joe Burrow.
Oh, yeah. You got a point there.
Yeah, he snuck that one in.
Would he have been this great if he had stayed at Ohio State? Would he have even been given the chance?
He got lost in the shuffle because there's so much talent.
I always tell people at Ohio State is the gift and the curse, man. Because they're not going to spot shadow you. Like, if you come in and just kill, they're like, okay, we'll play you for a little bit. But they got competition every day. You might be the dude. And then come back the next year and be like, well, you're just not. You're a guy.
Yeah, but that's how the NFL is.
You're a
if
guy.
anything, that's preparing you better for the NFL. Right. You have to fight every single day.
I mean, the last scholarship guy on your roster is starting for what, 3/4 of the other schools?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe more?
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
Right?